Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is AS and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope that all of you had a great new year and started to achieve your goals for 2024. Speaking of goals, I chose to commit myself to pump out at least one video per week. In addition, there are 4 video projects that I would like to release this year, so please stay tuned. With that in mind, let's get started. Although the bulk of releases are usually revealed around June, we cannot help ourselves but look forward to the next few months and analyze what 2024 has in store for us in terms of new releases. 2023 was an absolute banger of a year, and if 2024 can top it, it may be one of the biggest years in gaming history. Let's not hype ourselves up too much though. But now let's focus on a small component of hype, listing our top 10 most anticipated games of 2024. Before we begin, a couple of ground rules. On one hand, the console that will be referenced next to each pick will be the console on which the game will be played. It by no means indicates that the game on the list is an exclusive. On the other hand, I am only going to focus on video games that currently have a concrete release date. If certain titles only have window releases in 2024, they will unfortunately be disqualified. As much as I would like to include games such as The Wolf Among Us 2, Hellblade 2, and Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero in the mix, it would not be fair to the games that fully committed themselves to come out this year. Without further ado, let's rank my top 10 most anticipated video games in 2024. Number 10, Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. Although the first Star Wars movie that I saw was unfortunately The Phantom Menace, I was exposed to and enamored with the IP at a younger age. As a result, I was open-minded to whichever video game I could get my hands on. I missed the Super Nintendo titles such as Super Star Wars, and it was not until I was a teenager that I fell in love with Star Wars Rogue Squadron on the Nintendo 64. Thankfully, my introduction to the portrayal of Star Wars in video games came in the form of Star Wars Dark Forces on PC. I was clueless on the narrative due to my young age, but I had so much fun while blasting away stormtroopers and playing the first level over and over again. It will sound as a cliche, but it made me feel like I was in the Star Wars universe. The upcoming remaster isn't igniting any fires in me because I've been spoiled over the years with games such as The Force Unleashed, Battlefront 2, and Jedi Fallen Order. However, I may be very tempted to dip my toes again in a nostalgic experience that was part of my childhood. Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster releases on February 28, 2024. Number 9, Persona 3 Reload. While I will not call myself a fanboy or a fan of the Persona series, I will admit that both Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal were excellent experiences in their own right. The lovable cast of characters, the endless twists and turns that led to fantastic finales, and the memorable and catchy soundtracks earned a high score for me when it came time to review both products. I'm not familiar with the plot of Persona 3, but Atlus is attempting to modernize the game's storytelling and gameplay and make it more approachable to newcomers in the same vein as Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal. I will check out the game with my Game Pass membership, but I think that I would have paid the full price had it not been a part of Xbox's appealing service. Persona 3 Reload releases on February 2nd, 2024. Number 8, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. A game that is surrounded by controversy, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League features a group of characters that I can get behind. A dumb yet powerful shark, a marksman who does his work with style, an Australian with a cocky attitude, Joker's personal sweetheart. The intrigue in seeing their personalities clash throughout the journey to unrealistically kill the Justice League is enough for me to at least be interested in the game and put it on my list. However, there is one aspect that stops me from pre-ordering the title. It's DRM policy. I'm not exactly sure how Rocksteady thought it would be a good idea to put it in the game and still maintain its loyalty by fans of the Batman Arkham games. As the game with Kevin Conroy's last performance as the Dark Knight, I really hope that Suicide Squad does him justice or, at the very least, plays a part in maintaining Rocksteady's long-lasting reputation. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League releases on February 2nd, 2024. Number 7, Dragon's Dogma 2. The original Dragon's Dogma came out of left field for me. I played it because I was interested in a role-playing video game and came to find out that it was much more than a typical entry in the genre. The difficulty spike between night and day was a breath of fresh air, and the ability to climb monsters and gigantic foes was incredibly fun. I still remember those moments when I would play it in my college days and spend hours on the endgame content. Therefore, it should not be a surprise that I would be excited for Dragon's Dogma 2. If the recent 15-minute presentation was any indication to the scale and improvements over the original, Dragon's Dogma 2 may be the surprise hit of the year. Dragon's Dogma 2 releases on March 22nd, 2024. Number 6. Black Myth: Wukong. In the last entry, we spoke about Dragon's Dogma 2. Now take the footage that you watched in this video, improve the visuals tenfold, and change the combat mechanics to something that resembles games like Nioh or Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. The result of this combination will give you Black Myth: Wukong. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I do not know much about the game. However, the breathtaking graphics and the enticing gameplay mechanics definitely pique my interest, so I will keep this entry brief. Black Myth: Wukong releases on August 20th, 2024. Number 5. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It has been a very long time since we had a new Prince of Persia game. The last title, which was called Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, was released back in 2010. 14 years passed since that day, and we are finally receiving a new entry in the franchise in the form of The Lost Crown. It may not be developed completely in 3D, and it may not be as open world as 2008's title. But I think that's what's so surprising about Ubisoft's decision to go old school. The combat is reminiscent of Super Nintendo's Prince of Persia title, but it incorporates just enough modern niceties to make it appealing to today's gamers. I'm very much looking forward to this game. If it does well, maybe Ubisoft will be inclined to bring the series back to its glory days. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown releases on January 18th, 2024. Number 4. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake. When Hazelight Studios is discussed within the gaming community, it seems that the only two titles in the conversation are A Way Out and It Takes Two. Don't get me wrong, both of them are noteworthy experiences and ones that you should absolutely play. However, I think it takes away from the special treat that was the preceding gaming phenomenon, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Whereas you and a partner control one of two characters in A Way Out and It Takes Two, you specifically control both characters in Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. The trick is that you control one character per analog stick. It is a wonderful and unique way to make you care about each character, and the impact of each specific sibling will be felt as you make your way through the narrative. The game will make its entrance into modern platforms this year as a remake, and I cannot wait to re-experience that masterpiece once again. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake releases on February 28th, 2024. Number 3. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It may be a hot take within the Final Fantasy community, but I always preferred Zack as a character than Cloud. Granted, it may be due to the fact that I played Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII before Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I always thought that Zack had a more appealing personality and a more mature attitude as a whole. When I played Final Fantasy VII Remake and noticed that Zack would be a part of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it immediately made me excited for the sequel to Cloud's new adventure. If Rebirth can maintain its engrossing combat system while substantially improving on its side content, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will easily be a nominee as this year's best role-playing video game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releases on February 29th, 2024. Number 2. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Speaking of hot takes, I'm sure that my second pick on this list will rub some people the wrong way. Oh well, although it will be an extremely familiar experience to someone who played the original version about 10 times on the PlayStation 4, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered features 3 cool features that easily led me to the decision to play the game on its release date. First, it will include a few levels that were not included in the original title. I'm sure that they will not add any major story details, but it will be cool to check them out nonetheless. Secondly, it will include a free guitar mode that will allow me to play songs on the guitar. I'm mainly curious if Naughty Dog will go all out and give me plenty of freedom to play the songs that I want as a real-life guitar player. Lastly, the remastered version of The Last of Us Part 2 will include a rogue mode. If it is as robust as the Valhalla expansion for God of War Ragnarok, It will be a mode that will be played for a very long time. In all honesty, I'm just excited to once again dive into the shoes of Ellie and Abby and re-experience one of my favorite games from 2020. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered releases on January 19th, 2024. Number 1. Tekken 8. Even though I'm not a competitive player in the fighting community, Tekken has always been one of my favorite titles in the genre. In addition to classics like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and the original Super Smash Bros., Tekken has always been inviting, with its interesting cast of characters and juggling-based combat system. Tekken 8 may commit the sin of excluding my shameless top character in the series, but I will always be extremely excited for a new Tekken game. I gave the demo a shot and I was blown away by it. The presentation was top-notch, the story with the goal of taking down Kazuya had me hooked, and the fighting mechanics were as fun to interact with as ever. Tekken 7 is currently my favorite Tekken title of all time. We will see if Tekken 8, which is my most anticipated game of 2024, supersedes it. Tekken 8 releases on January 26, 2024. Well folks, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for checking it out. What are some of your most anticipated video games of 2024? Please let me know in the comment section below. As a side note, if there are any topics that you would like me to cover in this channel, or if there are any ranking videos or any projects that you would like me to do about video games or maybe movies, please let me know in the comment section and I will definitely take them into consideration. Till next time, have a great day or evening wherever you are. My name is AES, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.